is still running, essentially.
One play, and he hits pay dirt. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And he nearly broke that for more, but as it is, they'll start this drive at about the 37-yard line.
At their own 37-yard line.
Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10. Here's the first carry for Ezekiel Elliott. And this will be good for a pickup of 9 to the 46.
A nice run here early on. It doesn't take a great play caller to realize you want to establish a guy of his caliber with runs like this early because they'll pay dividends as the game progresses.
The previous run, good for 9. Here's 2nd and a yard. Now Prescott. Blitz coming, and down he goes. And their inaugural sack of the game coming from an unlikely source.
You mean it wasn't a linebacker? It wasn't a defensive end?
It was somebody like you.
Oh, my goodness. Yeah, that's a surprise for the offense. That's not what they normally get when they think about pressure.
Now throwing on 3rd down there, but he cannot connect.
You hear the calls for a penalty, but I just don't think so. I think in this situation, the defender was making sure his guy couldn't hold on to the football. So I don't see anything to warrant a flag.
No, I'm with you. There was contact, but I'm happy they kept that flag in the back pocket. And boy, down a touchdown already, but they're going to line up to go for it on their side of the field. They're indeed going for it. It's Prescott. Got an open man, the tight end, Jarwin. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. Give him 15 there, and the Cowboys have a first. First down, Prescott. And the coverage terrific there as that's knocked down and incomplete. The linebacker, T.J. Watt, there on the coverage.
It's always a battle. Who's going to win on first down, the offense or the defense? Let's face it, if you've got the ball, 4 yards or more on first down is what you're aiming for. They tried to throw for it there. Nice effort to knock that one away and bring up 2nd down.
And a 5-yard gain gets him to the 42. Prescott from the gun on 3rd. He rifles one that's intercepted. The safety, Terrell Edmonds, picks it. It's a foot race. And he's in for 6 and a Steeler touchdown. Extra point now by Boswell. And it's good to make it 14-0. So they throw the pick 6. They'll get another shot at it now as this one's in the air. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And this return net's positive as he gets past the 25 and up to the 27-yard line.
At their own 27-yard line.
About set for this next drive by the Cowboys offense. Already down 2 touchdowns here in the first half. This becomes a pretty important drive, doesn't it?
It certainly does, and a lot of the teams script plays. We know that, right? They have a script to start the ball game, and typically those scripts go between 12 and 24, 25 plays. Down 2 touchdowns early, probably not very deep into their script. I think that they'll stay with it. I don't think they'll abandon it just yet and try and generate some offense on this drive.
Anything. At least 3 points get that 0 off the board. Meanwhile, they take a shot to start the drive, but this is going to wind up incomplete. 2nd and 10 now from the 27.
Hey, let's pin the mirrors back and go full strip. Shit, shit, shit. Hey, kill.
Throwing. Prescott. Got an open man. It's Michael Gallup. And brought down, but not before reaching the 45-yard line. 19 yards to pick up there. Move the chains.
First down, Dallas.
Come on, D!
Prescott on first down. This to Jarwin. And he'll lose yardage on the play back at the 45-yard line. It'll be a loss of 1, and that'll bring up a 2nd and 11. Throwing again on 2nd down, but this time it's incomplete.
The beauty of being able to play a zone defense, when you can sit back and see the ball coming out of the quarterback's hands, guess what? Creates a lot of confusion, kind of a muddle in the middle of the field where you can go make a play on the football.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down. Now Prescott. Oh, and this ball's tipped and intercepted. Picked off right around the 43. And the return stops just a little bit shy of midfield at the 48-yard line.
This interception will go on the record of the quarterback, but as a receiver, you've got to understand where you are in the field. Middle portion, you know it's going to come in hot. Square your body to the quarterback and be ready to make the catch.
They start with a give to Connor. And that'll hurt the average a bit as this time they're able to get him behind the line. A loss of 2 there, 2nd down. First play of the drive goes the wrong way. Here's 2nd and 12. On 2nd down, Connor looking for space. And down he goes at the 49, a 3-yard pickup.
Partner, we know today's NFL is really built around the guy throwing the football. But these short runs, they still pay dividends because they can take their toll on a defense and they can add up as the game goes along. They control the clock, they control the ball, and that way you often...
And he fires one that's intercepted. Picked up by Leighton Vander Esch. And he's able to bring it up 5 yards shy of midfield to the 45-yard line. It had been a near-perfect beginning to this football game. Already a double-digit lead first quarter, but their first misstep.
And you know how it is, partner. Sometimes when everything's going right, you start to feel like you can do just about anything you want on the field. This one didn't work out. If I were him, I'd go to my defensive captain and say, pick me up, my man. Help me out. They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, this big defensive lineman will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play. One thing to keep in mind, partner, especially in the second half, when you've got a running back of this size, of these dimensions, I can just tell you, attrition does set in for a defense because you're excited about hitting him in the first half. Maybe not so much in the second half, and some of these shorter gains turn into bigger runs.
And a big loss here as he's taken down. T.J. Watt tracks him down away in the backfield for a loss of 16. This offense converted once already in this first quarter. They're going to try it again here on 4th down. 14-0 the score. This is the NFL on EA Sports. This offense converted once on 4th down earlier. Now they're out there again to try once more. Prescott to throw it. And he's going to go down again. Javon Hargrave, the D tackle, getting the sack. And, partner, I'm not really sure what in the world they were thinking on 4th and long there at this stage in the game, but you think social media may be firing up a little bit right now?
Oh, the coach is trending right now. There's no doubt about it. People wondering what that decision was. But it takes me back to a number of years ago. A very successful coach in the league had told himself before a playoff game he was going to be aggressive. No matter what, he's going to be aggressive. And it ran his team into some real problems early, and they got upset in that playoff game. Let's see if this team can recover.
Well, that's aggressive in capital letters with glitter, 7 underscore. I mean, that's the definition of aggressive.
Yeah, you can almost hear the cheerleaders doing the be aggressive chant behind him, and he listened to it. Well, I know it goes against the instincts of the person catching the ball because all you're ever taught is catch the football, don't drop it.
but drop it there.
Yeah, in that situation, dropping it would have been better. End up losing yardage, even though they completed the pass.
As good as a sack.
Yeah, how about that? Although they won't.
And he's going to take it in for a Steeler touchdown. From 8 yards out, and the Steelers, they broaden their lead.
That score was not a game clincher by any stretch of the imagination, but the other team now has to be careful to not let this game begin to slip away.
And oh my goodness, this is nowhere close. Well to the right and no good. So with the missed PAT in his rearview mirror, he goes back out to kick this one off. That'll be taken in the end zone. And he'll be brought down at the 23, make it the 24-yard line. About set for this next drive by the Cowboys offense. And we don't want to call this desperation time, especially in the second quarter, but you're down. Let me finish.
Okay, my bad.
You're down 3 scores already. You've done nothing offensively, nothing on the scoreboard. That's not a good combination.
I think you just called it desperation time. I think you did. But let's face it, you mentioned this to me in a break earlier in the game. The energy level hasn't been there right from the start. We've noticed that. They've got to find a way to get on their toes and start punching instead of retreating, to use a boxing analogy.
Pass on target, Prescott to Cooper, and he'll be stopped right at midfield. It's a gain of 12, and the Cowboys pick up the first. This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. Prescott now from the 50. And that is incomplete. Took a shot there on 1st down, but he couldn't reel it in.
That's very well timed there defensively, because it's not a bad throw, but the collision came at the exact time he was reaching to bring in the football. Really, really well done.
Decent offense, just better defense. I think you're right. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. They'll need a big play here, will Dak and the Cowboys after the sack. It's 3rd and long. Prescott from the gun. And for the 3rd time here in this half, it's intercepted. Picked off by Bud Dupree. And the return stops at the 39-yard line.
Well, it's 3rd and long, and you've got a few different ways to play it offensively. But this is not the type of offense that's going to wave the white flag. They're going to keep chucking it. And this time, it results in an interception.
So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10. After the interception, here's Roethlisberger. And yes, complete to the tight end McDonald. And now a fumble. The ball's out. It's picked up by the Cowboys. And his guys are going to take over at the 31-yard line.
The psychology of the game never ceases to amaze me, because you would think there would never be a fumble from what we hear from coaches all the time, right?
And how much they practice not fumbling.
Practice it, preach it, talk about it all the time. You would think no one would ever turn it over. Yet they are humans out there running around, and we just saw another one.
Opportunistic by the defense. And I think he's going to go. They're not going to get him. 20. Touchdown, Cowboys. Tony Pollard. 69 yards as they are now on the board here in the first half. Down 3 scores already. This game was really in danger of getting away from them. They needed a drive like that, especially on the road. Not
only to calm themselves, but maybe tamp down the crowd a little bit, because everything was against them. As you noted, this game could have gotten away from them very easily, but instead, the calming drive, now they have a little bit more confidence. Okay, we're back in it. All right, we're ready to go. That was impressive.
And the defense now needs to reciprocate. The Steeler offense here about ready for their next drive. And last time, the fumble, the turnover. Now, they still have the lead, but I don't think coaches care. The turnovers will bother them no matter what the scoreboard says.
That's the relief that you still have the lead. But coaches look at what if and what it should be. Turning the ball over when they've got a chance to score more points and increase the lead, that's what's going to affect them.
And they're also thinking to future weeks, maybe when the game's closer, right?
No doubt about it. You want to clean up everything. Let's just be honest about it. They want everything to be perfect at all times. They don't want to give up anything that's going to hurt their team.
And we've hit the 2-minute mark in this first half of action. A reminder that when halftime rolls around, Jonathan Coachman will have all the highlights and analysis of this first half of play from our studios in Orlando. And he's got the first before he's brought down at the 39-yard line.
Here we go.
Call it a gain of 7, and it gets him a new set of downs.
First and 10.
Both of them. Here we go. Kill. Turn up.
On first and 10 is Connor. And he'll take this up over the 40 to about the 41. 2 yards on the carry there. It'll be second down.
Well, they had that one sniffed out. Excellent run blitz. Stop that one for a short gain.
What makes a good run blitz a good run blitz?
The ability to stay on task, to follow up your assignment, go to the gap you're supposed to cover, and not be deterred by anything else.
Now Roethlisberger getting this one into the hands of Smith-Schuster. And he's going to have another first down here as the tackle's made at the Cowboys' 40. Now Roethlisberger on first down. And the Cowboys' pressure gets there this time for the sack. Defensive end DeMarcus Lawrence applied the heat. Now the Steelers use the first of their 3 timeouts, as the clock will stop with 34 seconds to go before halftime. Now they're in some hot water now. After that sack, it's 2nd and 21.
These two. 55. I got it. Middle. 55 is my guy. 55. You better be afraid of me. You better be afraid of me. 50. 55. Mike 55.
Now it's Roethlisberger. And his throw here's incomplete. Vance McDonald, the tight end, was the target. But now it'll be 3rd down. And Charles, got to like what this defense has been able to do these last couple of plays.
Yeah, they get the sack on first down, then they force the incomplete pass. Now they're just a play away from getting the football right back, but it's a big play. They've got to hold up.
7th play of this drive coming up, but a long way to go on 3rd down.
Mike, 55. Check, 55, Mike.
From the gun, it's Roethlisberger. And that will be incomplete. You can tell they were hoping for a flag there offensively. Several on the sideline motioning, hey, why not a penalty? Why not a penalty? What did you see?
Yeah, I think you've got to let them play, and the officials are instructed. If there's contact coming from both sides, no flag. Let them fight it out.
And forces 4th down. Roethlisberger will stay out there, and they're going to go for it on 4th. They'll indeed go for it with Roethlisberger. And they hit him as he throws, as this one's going to go straight down to the turf. Incomplete. Boy, a real head-scratcher there. And Dallas, they'll take over in terrific field position. A big play there just before halftime.
First and goal, Dallas.
First and goal, and they got to be thinking a chance to get right back into this football game. And he will take it in for a Cowboy score.
Touchdown.
Ezekiel Elliott, as the first half is winding down, as his guys are back within a single score. Well, this could be a big turnaround. They get the touchdown here in the final moments of the second quarter. And remember, Charles, they're going to get the ball to start quarter number 3 as well.
So what you're saying is, if they take the ball down to start the second half and score again, it could change the entire complexion of this game, couldn't it?
Absolutely. So they touched it before it went 10, and that's obviously not going to help their comeback bid here in the fourth.
No, not at all, and they're trying to get something going after one there, but you've got to give yourself a chance. Let it go 10 before you touch it.
55. Stay with your man.
Play fake to Connor. Now Roethlisberger. And he's got his man, the tight end, McDonald. Yeah, he will go out right near the 35-yard line. It's a Pittsburgh first down, a gain of 13. Roethlisberger now 6 of 10 in this first half. He's got his guys a first down here. Out of the gun, it's Roethlisberger. There goes a deep ball, end zone, into a double team, and it's intercepted. And I do believe this is going to wind up a safety. It is. It's a safety. How about that for a wacky play? So 2 quarters down, 2 remain. Charles and I return after the break. Okay, Coach, appreciate it. A 1-touchdown game here as we get set to resume play in the second half. Both teams appear ready for the fight ahead, and we resume action here in quarter number 3. That's fielded in the end zone. And he's able to get it across the 20, but not by much, as he's marked down at the 21-yard line. About set for this next drive by the Cowboys offense. And both of these defenses have been stifling these last few drives offensively. Just not able to get anything going, so what needs to change?
I think a lot of the guys will go back and review, so to speak, because everyone has someone assigned to how did each play work. Okay, what did we use that kind of worked for us during this game? Try and get back to some of those.
Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Bud Dupree charging hard from that linebacker spot, and he drops him for a loss of 11.
Hey, kill.
Third and long for Prescott. Looking for Cooper, that's complete. That's a first down with a cherry on top, 31 yards.
Now that one hurts defensively. They force them into 3rd and long, had the advantage, yet they give up the big play right there.
Yeah, their offense was already warming up on the sideline, ready to come out. So much for that 3 and out.
You got tight. You got tight right there. Slam.
Boy, nowhere to go at all on that first down run as they will get to him behind the line of scrimmage. He'll wind up losing a yard on the play, but it's going to be second down. The second down play, not much better than the first, just a gain of 1 there.
Sometimes you're aligned perfectly and the play comes to you, and sometimes you got to cover some ground to go make the play, as we just saw there.
We saw a great example of perseverance right there on that play.
Got to be careful. They might want to throw one over his head as this game progresses.
And he can only manage to get this to the 45-yard line, well short of the first.
Tough first half for him, unable to put up the numbers he's used to producing. But with a guy like him, you and I both know it just takes a couple of explosive touches for him to make an impact on this game and on the stat sheet as well.
So here we go. The offense is going to stay out there. They're going for it on 4th and 8.
Here we go, 47. 55. 55. Hey, watch the slant. 55's my guy. 55.
They're indeed going for it as they look to throw. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. T.J. Watt and the Steelers, they're going to take over an excellent field position. Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10. Roethlisberger will throw. And it's complete. He gets this one to Washington. A gain of 6 there on first.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and you can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before he could get a good head of steam going.
Looking to throw again on second down. Roethlisberger nowhere to escape, and he goes down. DeMarcus Lawrence picks up his second sack of the afternoon. So the sack, and now a 3rd and long situation for the Steelers and Ben Roethlisberger. Here's Roethlisberger. And Big Ben intercepted a 3rd time. Xavier Woods with a pick, and he's able to take this one back to the 36-yard line.
Well, there definitely was some juice on that pass. And while tight ends don't always have the same reputation for hands as wide receivers do, in this case, that ball was expected to be caught.
About set for this next drive by the Cowboys offense. And this offense last time turned it over, went for it on 4th, didn't get it. They're lucky, though, because no points against the team on the board, but we'll see how they respond.
Yeah, they've got to give a lot of credit to their defensive teammates, don't they? They had their backs on that last series, and because they did so, that allows the coach to still stay aggressive on offense and maybe go for it again in a similar situation.
I was going to say, maybe makes that offense feel good when you know you've got a defense making stands like that.
Yeah, that'll loosen up things a little bit, won't it? Maybe you'll play a little bit better the next time you have the ball.
19 yards to pick up there. Move the chains. Under a minute to go in this 3rd quarter as they come up 1st and 10. Here's Prescott. Got an open man, the tight end, Jarwin. This will be stopped about 2 yards shy of the marker. 8-yard gain, 2nd and 2. A good pickup there. 8 yards on the first down completion. Facing a 2nd and 2 after that last catch, good for 8 yards.
Hey, kill.
Looking to throw. Prescott. Got his man there, complete to Gallup. And he works it past the 30, almost to the 25. Back now in Pittsburgh. It's the Cowboys in possession of the football, but they trail here as we begin the 4th quarter of play. Prescott now 9 of 17 through the air. Not a great percentage, but it is 1st and 10. Now Elliott. And they're going to get him behind the line yet again as his nightmare afternoon continues. It's a gain of 12, and the Cowboys pick up the first. They held him in check in the first half, but that's his longest carry of the game right there.
So would this be the definition of fresh legs since he didn't get much done in the first half? Now he has a great opportunity. He's taking full advantage of it.
Here we go, 46.
From the red zone now, Prescott. That is caught. It's Cooper for the Cowboy touchdown. Amari Cooper there to make the grab as they now sit just a 2-point conversion away from tying this game up in the 4th quarter. All right, now a big 2-point conversion attempt still to come. They'll try and run it in. And he will get into the end zone for 2. And this game now tied here in the 4th. So here comes the kickoff now, all even here in this 4th quarter. And no return on this one as the fair catch is signaled for and taken.
The Steelers take over 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line.
The Pittsburgh offense at the line to start their next drive. And 3 interceptions in this game. I would have to think, I wasn't a quarterback, but number 4 is kind of, you're like, oh, man, I can't throw 4.
No, and what's interesting is, what do the coaches decide to do now? Having thrown 3, do you alter your offensive strategy? Do you take the ball out of his hands and maybe turn to the running game? Or do you have that supreme confidence that he's going to turn things around?
We'll see what they do. They stay on the ground. Here's Connor again. Looking for a seam, but finding none. He'll get back to the line of scrimmage, and that's it. No gain that time, and it leaves him with 3rd and 11 coming up. And the Steelers on 3rd down. They've only converted once in 4 tries. This is 3rd and 11. Now it's Roethlisberger. And this is going to be intercepted. Picked off by Anthony Brown. Johnson was the intended receiver. So how about that for a momentum switch?
We're in the 4th quarter, and it's a tie game. You've got to take care of the football here. Now their opportunity to take the lead right out the window, and everything is flipped in the other direction.
On 1st down, it's Elliott. Credit him with a 1-yard gain there to make it 2nd and 9. Under 4 to go now as the clock runs and they come up on 2nd down. Prescott. And that's going to be incomplete. A lot of contact, no call, and it's 3rd down.
And it is true. You can draft the fastest. You can draft the most athletic guys. But if they don't know the art of positioning, sometimes it's all for naught. In this case, in the right spot, help force the incompletion.
Well, had his hands on it for a second. Would have been a tough catch, though. Falls incomplete. On 3rd down, it's Prescott. And this is going to be intercepted. Picked off by Mark Barron. There he goes, right side. And he's in for 6 and a Steeler touchdown. In a tie game, 4th quarter, that's about as big of a defensive play as you can possibly make.
And it didn't happen by accident. That was scouting right there. They've seen things that have happened before. They knew in certain situations the type of plays they like to run, read it, and were able to go after the football, get it, and take it into the end zone for a touchdown for themselves.
So they'll get another shot on offense following that pick 6. And now the kick is away. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And he'll wind up getting an extra couple yards here for his trouble as he'll bring this one out to the 27. About set for this next drive by the Cowboys offense. And last time, decent field position through the pick 6. Obviously costly.
But they can't afford to just bunker in now. All right, good field position means go ahead and attack on offense. Try and press the advantage a little bit. They just have to be better with the football on this possession.
So that didn't bother you too much last time?
No, because it's exactly what you're supposed to do. You can't have good field position and not try to take advantage of it. Sometimes the defense makes a big play, too.
Only a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 3rd down. The good run on 1st down followed up by a not-so-good run on 2nd down.
Now let's find out they're going to stick with the run here on 3rd down. A lot of people would love to see some play action here. I say go with your best running play over your best blocker.
Legs still churning.
Like a giant pinball.
And now they are knocking on the door inside Pittsburgh's 10. And he's going to take this all the way down to the Steelers' 7-yard line.
Another carry for their leader, and a good one. It's crunch time. They'll need him to continue to be productive in both the run and passing game in order for them to try and snatch a victory.
A looming decision to make on the conversion, down 7, but first things first, they need to score as they come up on 1st and goal. Elliott, and that winds up a decent run, and it also takes us to the 2-minute warning. It'll be a pickup of 4, and it brings up 2nd and goal. So the Cowboys in possession of the football here as we get you reset. And they're knocking on the door. 2nd and goal now in a 1-score game. They'll try to run it in with Elliott. And maybe a measure of revenge there. He's had his way in this one, but this time they get him behind the line. It'll be a loss of a yard, and that's going to bring up an interesting 3rd and goal. He'll look to throw. And this is caught. It's Cooper. And he'll take it into the end zone for a Cowboy touchdown. Amari Cooper, his second touchdown of the afternoon, as they can now tie the game with the extra point here in the final 2 minutes. Still an important piece of business to take care of, the extra point. And he missed it. Oh, would you believe it? It is no good. So just over 90 seconds to play, and this would figure to be about as critical as it gets here. And this one travels out of bounds, so unsuccessful there on the onside kick try.
Let's go. Ready? Like 80. Double bump. Here we go, here we go. Shit.
On the counter, it's Connor. And he'll lose yardage on the play back at the 45-yard line. It's a loss of 2 there, bringing up second down.
I don't think any of us were surprised that they decided to start this drive on the ground after the last 2 drives ended in interceptions.
Unfortunately, though, not a lot going on that first play.
Yeah, I think the anticipation was felt also by the defense.
The throw over the middle, taken in. And he's across for the touchdown. And in the final minute, that should just about seal it.
And that touchdown puts them up 7. But now's when the fun begins, partner, because if you go ahead and kick the extra point, it's still a 1-possession game. Go for 2, you might put it out of reach.
Yeah, a little decision to be made. Now the Cowboys going to burn the first of their timeouts as it comes with exactly a minute to go in the football game. And now big.
We want it. Come
Now it's Roethlisberger toward the end zone, but that's going to wind up incomplete. So unable to throw it in for 2 from the 2. Let me ask you, as a former DB, what changes there around the goal line on a 2-point conversion as far as how you're defending it?
You just make sure you never back up and you never retreat. You establish yourself really on the line of scrimmage, put your heels on the goal line at worst, and if they're going to throw the ball, make them throw it over your head because they're going to run out of space because of the back of the end zone. Never let a guy catch one in front of you.
About set for this next drive by the Cowboys offense. They're down here in a 1-score game, but the time, it's a factor, but it's not a huge factor right now, is it?
It's really not, because this amount of time gives them a chance to run their offense, to go through play sequences. And this is what they work on every week in practice, usually on a Friday. They go over this type of a situation, late game situation. What are we going to do when we have the opportunity? They've called these plays a bunch of times. Now's their chance to execute them.
Well, they have the opportunity now. Here's the execution. A second down pass play there, but it's incomplete. Cooper was the target there, and it's 3rd and 5.
Now we're in the situation where the quarterback's got to take full charge of his huddle. Got to totally command it, make sure all eyes are on him. All focus is locked in. Going to call multiple plays and go over different situations and scenarios to make sure everyone is on the same page.
Back to throw. He's going to let it fly. He's got a man complete. And yes, he's into the end zone. So they get the late score they needed. And now the extra point can tie this thing up in the final minute.
Yes, it was a touchdown. And not just a TD, but how about a long touchdown that puts them in a great position now.
And now just an extra point away from tying this thing. And oh, he missed it. No good. And they'll remain down by a point. So 20 seconds remain. It'll come down to this. And this one travels out of bounds. So unsuccessful there on the onside kick try. So good field position for the Steelers as they come up 1st and 10. Just shy of midfield at the 49. Oh, Roethlisberger going to throw. On the left side, it's McDonald. Now the Steelers use the first of their 3 timeouts. It's just their first. They've got 2 more to use here in the final stages. That last catch short of the marker by just a yard leaves them with a very manageable 2nd and 1. Throwing now is Roethlisberger. And this is going to be caught. He won the fight for the football. And here come the whistles and a timeout with 7 seconds left.
And the Steelers first down. 1st and 10 at the 13-yard line.
Roethlisberger now 10 of 17 throwing the ball. He's got a 1st and 10. From the red zone now, they'll look to throw. And this is caught. And that could seal it. It's a touchdown. So a little icing on the cake there before the clock hits all zeros.
What a way to finish things off. Exactly what you want. Not much time and a touchdown to put things away.
Now Roethlisberger will head to the line as his guys will go for 2.
Come on, baby. Easy, easy.
Here's Roethlisberger. Rush coming, and he's taken down.
Well, I don't think it takes much to crawl into their mind, right, why they went for 2 there, even though they were unsuccessful. But this type of a lead, what they're worried about, right, in less than 10 seconds on the clock, what they're worried about is just giving up the touchdown.
Yeah, on the kickoff return.
Yeah, so you go for it here to try and ensure yourself. Now they've got to make sure they cover it, otherwise they could actually lose.
The Cowboys take over 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line.
About set for this next drive by the Cowboys offense. They have time here, partner, for just 1 final heave.
And I have to look at it from the defense's perspective here. We know what they're going to do on offense. The Hail Mary, try and get guys down there and throw it in the end zone, tip it around and catch it. You've got to have guys back there to defend that, but also you can't allow wants to set up and throw it. Maybe you bring a little extra pressure to make sure he gets rid of it quicker.
A little bit of a cat and mouse game. We'll see if they bring that pressure. Well, going into the final play of this game, they